Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another political episode. So we are trucking very quickly. I can't believe it, but we're almost halfway through our presidential results. Appropriately, we would say we would be halfway through after we get through the M states, and we're already to our first state with the letter M, and that is the state of Maine. And we're going to take a look here. This is New Hampshire. Shoot. Maine. There we go. So, yeah, just as I kind of expected and anticipated, Maine is in for Kamala Harris. I had a hard time seeing Maine go in favor for Donald Trump. Just like, okay, I mean, we were very close in 2016, and people said, oh, it's possibly going to go for Trump this time. Besides, you got Gary Johnson in 2016 taking Trump votes. And maybe if Gary Johnson wasn't in the picture in this case, we could have won. That's a possibility. The election would definitely be more closer, as it would look like. So, but that ended up not being the case. 2024, it was just the same deal. Sure, it went down to the right by a little bit, 52% for Kamala Harris to Donald Trump's 45%. No real change, though. No real change. But what we got to talk about Maine's first and second districts. Because what changed in those first and second districts? Well, let's see. I want to know the results. We have not registered the results in. Great. Kennebec County, which is right here, flipped for Donald Trump. And you'll see those counties right here, they trended to the left by a little bit. This is the swing for the said presidential candidates. But I'm just going to go ahead and pull up the said results, basically what we predicted, because believe it or not, I can't necessarily remember, because we've done hundreds of predictions. We started our predictions in January, and we moved all the way to November until our final predictions were released. And as a result, we basically called the election, of course, for Kamala Harris in the said state of Maine, for Kamala Harris for the state of Maine throughout the whole entire ordeal. We haven't really put the election into Donald Trump's hands in the state of Maine, but let's go ahead and take a look at our results here. Yes. Getting closer and closer, but yes, Maine. Here we go. So, yeah. Actually, we were wrong. We were really wrong. Yeah, you'll see our results are a little wonky here. But yeah, this is our main results. Nope. There we go. So, yes, we had Kennebec County joining Kamala Harris. And we thought, Kennebec County would go to Kamala Harris. And this is according to polling average, because we created these predictions according to polls, okay? We couldn't necessarily say, I have a gut feeling that Kennebec County is going to go back to Trump. We needed kind of proof and evidence, and I said, you know what? Polls are not saying, it's not showing good news for Donald Trump in Kennebec County. And not only that, Donald Trump seems to lose the neighboring county of Androscoggin County. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's a hard Indian name to pronounce, but that county, it's been a toss-up. It hasn't gone Democrat, except voting for Anxious King, which is who is an independent. So you could, count that, but this county has been with Trump all the way through. It's stayed with him in 2024, voted for him in 2020, almost going to Joe Biden. he did good there. Donald Trump cruised right through to victory in 2016 in that county. But this county never used to be so conservative. It actually, for a very long time, been Democratic from 1932 to 2012. For a long time, you'll see it took a break in 1952 and 1956, mainly in respects to Dwight Eisenhower, who was I would say not a progressive, but he was definitely more liberal, who supported the New Deal. He was one of those Rockefeller Republicans. Then you get to the Reagan and Bush times in the 1980s. In 1984, it voted for Bush and the it voted for Reagan in the Reagan landslide of 1984. And then 1988, still in the aftermath and the after effects of that Reagan landslide in 1984, still going in for Bush. But ever since in 1992, you'll see the GOP hits a very low unpopular streak, 25% 1992 results to a landslide win for Democrats. Third place was actually the third party, the independent Ross Perot, who took 33.3% of the popular vote. No, actually, I'm looking at wrong numbers. 33.95% of the popular vote. So interestingly enough, this was interesting results. But yeah, a close race indeed. And Androskigen, and even in the most toughest times, like the Maine 2022 elections. Like, take a look at the race in 2022. You'll see, the popular Janet Mills, who actually was facing off against the very unpopular former governor, Paul LePage, who wants his office back. You'll see Paul LePage, you could think, knowing how unpopular Paul LePage was, you would think, all the more competitive counties, especially a county that almost went to Biden, almost went Democrat in 2020, would go for Mills. Well, this county, Androskigen, actually held in for Republicans. Not only that, in 2018, without a said unpopular governor, even though previous results will tell you that Paul LePage was pretty popular. But yeah, despite even after, with not even Paul LePage, very unpopular governor in there, you'll still see Jostigan, I don't know how you pronounce the name, but that county right here still in favor for Republicans. Janet Mills still couldn't take that county in 2018, despite winning an 8-point win, which compared to 2022, it was more of a landslide win comparing it with the former governor. That landslide win in 2022 for Democrats could not take Androskigen County. So we should have known about that. But yes, a lot of people are saying, in other words, with Androskigen and Kennebec, there would be no way Democrats could win Maine's 2nd Congressional District. Very weird here. I think it's, that's the thing. Maine's coast, and that's the thing. A lot of people go, why is Maine coast so liberal? Well, here's the thing, guys. Liberals, they're emotionally tyrannical people, and they're just emotionally wild, and they need coasts, and they need to go vacation on the nice coasts and most calming and soothing places of the earth, and that's Maine's coasts, to better help their feelings. And that's why we have so many liberals at the coasts. They're just coping there, and they stay there and stay there and stay there. They don't want to leave. And yes, we actually gave a little bit more to Kamala Harris. What was the actual results? Well, let's see. This is what we were predicting. Kamala Harris, at the end of the night, would carry, she would carry the majority of counties of Maine, 9 counties, against Trump, who carried only 7 counties. Well, I can tell you, Trump's now has carried the majority of counties because he flipped Kennebec County, and we are projected that Harris would Flip Androdroskin. I need to know how you pronounce that county name. Like, Maine counties. Like, okay. This county right here. And I'm like dead serious. I want to literally put Google Translate. Like, it's just this big name, and I don't blame it. It's an Indian name. But this county's taking the spotlight because it is a swing county. Androscoggin County. Androscoggin County, and I give doing you all a favor because this county's very. We're just gonna call it Andro County. It's a big, hard county to pronounce, a tongue twister, but Andro County, right here. We'll just put this as a light red for a Trump hold. But yes, this is a flip. Trump flipped back. Kennebec County held on to Andro County, which we actually said would go to Harris, according to polls. The polls, right? We have to believe the polls. The polls are saying Kamala Harris would sweep Maine. And did she sweep Maine? Well, no, nothing really changed in Maine. To be honest, nothing really changed. Yeah, look at this. Statewide likely Democrats, safe Democrats, solid Democrat. Like, University of New Hampshire was saying 58% for Harris. So yeah, I think it's not looking so good. But yes, Kennebec, I would say barely went to Trump, but that's whole. I'd expect that county to hold. But what do you guys think? Let me know down below, and as always, see you all in the next political episode. Whoops.